Welcome back now. Athandiwe Ntshinga, better known by her stage name, Amarafleur, started her imaginative vocation as singer and songwriter in Wellington, New Zealand in 2013. Amarafleur worked her way up to release her debut album, And Then I Stopped Caring, in 2021. She continued to be one of the 100 overall 2021 Ruler Claus Seed Award recipients, winning a grant to bolster her independent music endeavours, and was invited to perform at the 2022 Prince Claus Awards to international dignitaries and Dutch royal families. Well, she joins us now in studio to tell us more. Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you. I mean, tell us about music and how it's been a part of your life since a young person.
So music has been a very long journey for me. I think in terms of the actual creation aspect of music, it started in 2013. But I used to write a lot. Poetry was like a really fun thing for me. My siblings are very creative. My dad really loves music as an individual. So kind of feeding off of those elements and being in bands with my classmates in New Zealand as well was really great. So that's pretty much how the journey kind of went for me, and finding a way to make it something that's a permanent fixture in my life definitely came towards the later part of my journey as a person, really. So that's pretty much how it began.
Talk to us about New Zealand and how it fits into your journey.
My journey. So I was there by way of my parents' work, and we have moved around a lot throughout my life, and then that really was part of, I guess, the era of my life that I guess formed my formative years, and so I was learning about myself a lot, and that's where I recorded my first song, and it was actually a feature. By mistake, it was someone else who was supposed to be singing, and then I happened to be there, and they were like, okay, do a thing. So I did a thing, and I realized I actually like it a lot, and that's the part it played. And I also had a lot of friends who were in the music space, very much indie, so not like on a mainstream level, and that's still where I find myself a lot. A lot of, you know, people I know are young creators, young musicians who are very much on the left when it comes to music.
Talk to us about, I mean, receiving that invitation to sing at, you know, Prince Claus Awards. I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
That was super random, very surprising. I got a call from one of the ladies who, I guess, creative directs a lot of the shows, but also works a lot with the young people that they choose for these kinds of programs that they do with Prince Claus Awards and the Prince Claus Fund in general. And she gave me a call actually and said, can you be in Amsterdam in December? And I was like, well, I don't know. Why? And she said, I'll get back to you. And then after that, she contacted me again and said, hey, we're reaching out to some of our Seed awardees to see if we can incorporate them in the awards, which kind of exist to celebrate some of the more established artists that get chosen, because it's not just music. There's a lot of sustainable art that they look at, and particularly in the global south. So that was a really special moment for me. So she called and I was like, say less.
Speak to us about your sound. How would you describe your sound?
My sound is very complicated to describe, because most people would lean towards calling it R&B. I'm also fine with that, but it also has elements of, like, I guess, alternative versions of things throughout, I guess, one's sonic perception of music. But I'll definitely just leave it as R&B, just to be simple, just to make it easy.
I mean, I believe you're working on an album, Slated. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I am working on an album. I have been working on it for the last, I think, 2 years now. A lot of my sort of award stuff has really helped move that for me. We just came out of, you know, a very hectic lockdown, and a lot of my artist friends and myself who, you know, kind of wanted to find ourselves making music at that time couldn't. So it was really lovely to be able to work on actually being able to pay a lot of the people that I naturally collaborate with on a very exchange basis. Like, I'll sing for you if you do this and that. But this was new for me because I was like, okay, cool, I can finally do something that actually kind of reciprocates in a stronger way. And I'm almost done. So hopefully there'll be a complete project towards the end of the year, but I'm working on something very, very different for me personally, a lot of live elements, which we'll see as well here. But I'll leave it up to the rest of us to see that when it's out.
Great timing, all in perfect timing. I believe you are very big on collaborations too. Why is that such an important part of who you are and the journey that you're on?
I think music is a collaborative experience. It's a collaborative journey. We listen together, we enjoy music together, we feel together. Music does something that moves people all at once, whether you know each other or not. So collaborating with other musicians for me is a really big deal because I don't think I can grow as an artist if I don't have the perspective or the ear that someone else has. And I think I'm really keen on learning as well, and I like to be pushed out of my comfort zone when I accept that it's necessary. So collaborative activities or just working with other people really encourages that for me, and I think that it's really lovely, and we reach each other's networks and each other's listeners so much better that way. And great music gets made out of collaboration all the time. We see it happen so often, and very memorable music comes from collaboration too.
And how has living in different parts of the world, including New Zealand, influenced your sound and the fact that you from the African continent, you know, that you're born with the beat of Africa?
Being born with the beat of Africa is really the root of it all. I think that's where it begins for me. I feel like that is the beginning of the influence. And then as I think about how I go about my creative process, I remember I was doing a separate interview the one time, and I was talking about how Samoan music, which is a Pacific island in the Pacific, is very similar to a lot of our music. So when you hear those similarities, you're like, okay, well, maybe I can collaborate with someone who's from that area, or this sound is really popular in this part of the world. How does it make me feel? How can I try to take those elements and put them into my own music? So yeah, a global perspective, I suppose, to a point helps with expanding your ear if you're open to it, of course.
All right, Amara, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Singer and songwriter Amarafleur will perform for us 2 songs as we celebrate Jazz Day, of course, as we celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month in April. She's our first music guest this morning.